Eyebrows. Hi, welcome to STEAM Kids with Colorado Model Railroad Museum. My name is Michelle.
And I'm Misty. You're tuning in today for our third program in our Paleontology edition. This is really exciting. We're already... I'm sad and excited because we have one more left after today, right?
Right, we have one more after this one.
Yes, and you're tuning in on YouTube, Greeley Station, or you're watching this on our Facebook page, Colorado Model Railroad Museum, tomorrow. Either way, we're very grateful for your viewing time and excited about all the feedback we've been hearing. And most importantly, a great deal of gratitude to our sponsor, the Greeley Station. Their mission is to bring organizations, communities, and people together, just like they're doing today for us here.
So we're super thankful for Greeley Station for making this possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do we have today, Michelle?
Well, you know, we've talked about fossils, and we've talked about excavation and how you find them, but now today we're going to talk about different types of dinosaurs and how you can classify them. And we're also going to look at periods of time. So let's start with time.
Okay.
We named this Land of Time. So we're talking
it's about 4 minutes after 1. That's what time it is.
There we go. I'm glad we have clocks today.
But that's not the time we're talking about, right?
No, we're talking about eras. Eons. Many years of time. And we sent out in our kits this little example here of time. So today we live in what's called the Cenozoic Era, which is modern time, the time of man and the animals that we see today.
Awesome.
But as the fossils tell us, and you can date fossils, like they have a scientific process for finding how old things are, that certain life happened on Earth at certain times and eras over history. And so what we're talking about mainly with our paleontology is the Mesozoic Era. And it's broken into 3 names, which most people know the center one. So the first one is Cretaceous, which is the newest of the Mesozoic Era. The second is the Jurassic. That's the one everybody knows because of the movie.
Jurassic Park.
And that was kind of the rise of the carnivores.
Right.
And the Triassic, which was kind of those earlier dinosaurs, mainly more herbivores.
Yes.
So, and then the Cretaceous, they were all blended together, and then they all died out, which was that great mystery, right?
Now, you said carnivore and herbivores. Now, I know we know what carnivores are.
Do you know what a carnivore is?
That's
what we're talking about. Right. So we're going to do a little example here with our fun dinosaurs today. Move this stuff back. So we're talking about the 2 things, herbivores, carnivores.
It's so funny how you did herbivore in green. Does that mean that's a plant eater?
It is a plant eater. And carnivores are meat eaters or other animals.
Yeah.
By meat, they eat other animals. So we have some dinosaurs on the table, and we're going to sort them out into where they go on here.
Awesome.
So do you want to pick one first?
You know what? I will. I'm going to go with the Brachiosaurus. And I think just about every long-necked dinosaur was actually a herbivore, right? That we've learned about? Yeah.
And why do you think that would be?
Well, they have a way to get up higher, the plants and everything. So.
Exactly. A lot of times you can take clues from their physical appearance as to what kind of animal they would be, an herbivore or a carnivore.
So an herbivore of today might be like a giraffe, would be a great example because of the long neck and everything. Huh?
Exactly.
Wow.
I'm going to pick a Stegosaurus.
Ooh, a Stegosaurus.
And he is also an herbivore.
Yay!
Although, he's got some defensive mechanisms.
He sure does.
He looks a little different than Brachiosaurus.
He's got some spikes there, that's for sure.
And so scientists think that those were used for defense, especially the spikes on the tail.
Oh, yeah.
So he is a plant eater, but he can defend himself.
Right. Oh, those are some serious spikes. Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow. So this one here, this is a really unique one because I think, to me, it looks like a cross between a shark and an alligator. Yeah. And it is a Mesosaurus. And so look at that. That is almost like a giant eel. I mean, there's so many things that reminds me of. And by judging by his teeth, I'm going to go with carnivore. Yep. Is that correct?
Correct. Teeth are a really good way to decide if something is an herbivore or a carnivore. Because carnivores tend to have those pointy teeth for tearing, and they're called canines. And herbivores will have those molars, which are designed for grinding the plants up.
Wow.
So you can often tell by teeth. That's the second way to look. So physical outside appearance and teeth. And we'll talk about another one here in a bit.
All right.
So pick another dinosaur.
Okay. Well,
which one do you want to do?
Let's go with the one in the end.
Okay. This guy, I'll bring him over here to the camera. This is a Velociraptor. Also made popular by the movie Jurassic Park. But Velociraptors are a well-known carnivore. And you can tell also by the fact that they have the toenail that's designed for capturing and, and grabbing
Holding
things
food
along
down.
with their teeth.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's another one of those. Let's see.
Is that
What
how
else?
come we have steak knives today?
Maybe that's how we learned how to do that.
I don't know. Now this one here, this our guy here with the wings, our pterodactyl, he doesn't get a lot of attention. I notice sometimes it gets forgotten because he doesn't stand. Well, he stands, but he's more of a flyer. And what we do know is he is a carnivore, from what I understand, and has been. I think there's not a lot of birds today that are carnivores, but we do have some.
We do have some, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Birds of prey versus just general birds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so another carnivore. How about we talk about Ankylosaurus?
Okay.
Ankylosaurus is another example, just like Stegosaurus, of a plant eater with very, very good defense mechanisms. He has spikes. Look at the spikes on his back. That's
Right.
designed to keep the teeth away from his actual
Yeah, they
soft
poke back,
flesh.
right?
Right.
You
So
know-
he was developed to be a very defensive plant eater.
And this is actually one of your favorites, if I remember
I know, I
right. You
love
were
the
telling me
Ankylosaurus.
about that. Yes. Yeah, it makes me think of a turtle, like I don't know, I think of turtles. So, well, we'll go ahead. And we all know this is a very, very famous and popular one. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, also known as T-Rex. And we all know, I think we all know, that his favorite was a salad. I'm just kidding. He is a carnivore.
He's probably the most prominent and well-known carnivore.
Yes,
of all the
absolutely.
dinosaurs.
So well known. I mean, we have Can You Dig It shirts with him on it, right?
I know. And the last one that we have is a fun guy. He's a Triceratops.
One of my favorites.
He also has defensive mechanisms, not quite as many as Ankylosaurus, but he is a plant eater. We'll just put him right here in front. He's a fun one we're going to talk about in our next lesson. We're going to learn a lot about Triceratops because he's pretty special to our local community.
He really is. It really is. And well, let's see. So maybe what we can share is where his name, I understand, came from, Triceratops.
Uh-huh.
Tri being the three horns.
The three
is
horns.
that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Triceratops.
Yeah.
So this is dividing dinosaurs into herbivores and carnivores during the Mesozoic era of time. And so now I want to talk about modern time, which we said was the Cenozoic era up here. We actually have another category of eaters. All things eat, right?
Yes.
That's one thing that's common to everything that's alive in the animal kingdom, animal world, is that we all eat. And there's actually another kind today. So let's put our dinosaurs to the side.
All right. I'll take
And
all
we're
the
gonna
herbivores.
We're going to add something new here.
And I'll give
This
you the
one.
carnivores.
Okay, I'll take the carnivores over here. This one is called Omnivore. Actually, I'll just put him in the middle.
Sounds good.
An omnivore eats both.
Yeah.
So we're going to sort some things out. I cut out some pictures for us to sort out.
Okay.
I'll just give you a couple.
All right.
I'll take a few.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
So an omnivore. So a deer. An omnivore.
I don't know. Do you think a deer eats meat?
I have not seen that before. I think it's more of a herbivore. Herbivore. I was like, no.
Correct. I will give you an example of an omnivore, though, and that would be a grizzly bear.
Ah.
Because bears will eat meat. They catch fish.
Yeah.
But they also eat berries and plants.
Well, while we're on the subject of bears, can I give a little shout out to all of the bears who are graduating this weekend?
Yeah.
And congratulations from all of us at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum and the Greeley Station.
To the University of Northern Colorado Bears, which we're both an alumni
Yes,
of.
we
Go
are.
Bears. Anyway, okay, so now we have an elephant.
That is a herbivore.
Definite herbivore, right?
All right. Now we have a rabbit. Where do you think that goes? I'm going to say herbivore.
Herbivore. I have a crocodile.
Which has also been around. We
Look
have
at his
proof
teeth.
for
Where do you
lots
think
and lots
he
of
goes?
years.
By looking at his teeth.
I don't think he likes salad. I don't
Definitely a
think that with a
carnivore.
ranch dressing. That doesn't seem to be. You know, this one is tough for Minnie. A pig. You know, many think it's an herbivore, but the
It's
pig
actually an omnivore. He'll
falls
eat
into the
any of those.
omnivore category. Yeah.
That is correct. I have the giraffe. We talked about
We
this
did
one.
talk
That's
about the
an
giraffe.
easy one to
Yes.
put in the omnivore category.
So, and I have a raccoon, which now I usually see them eating out of the garbage, but you have to admit, salads are not the only thing in garbage. I've
correct.
heard some burgers there, so in the garbage. So I'm going to give him omnivore.
He's an omnivore. Now I have something interesting here. I have birds. birds can go in two different categories, just like we were talking about earlier. This bird is an herbivore, but this bird is a carnivore. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. Of course. I have to go grab a water. The reason that you can tell them apart by looking at them is their eyes. Eye placement is really important. Any carnivore is going to have eyes that face forward for looking for prey. And your herbivores are going to have eyes on the side of their head, so they have a 360-degree view and can see behind them.
Wow.
To avoid the carnivore.
That's interesting.
So, yeah. What do you have?
I have a person. Now, this is personal choice, but we could say, all in all, people are omnivores. Some are strict herbivores, some are carnivores, some are, oh goodness, and the name just escaped me. Some are omnivores. You get to choose. So yeah.
So I know some people are like, why do animals have to eat animals? Why do we need carnivores? You know, why can't we all just eat plants and get along? But honestly, carnivores have a purpose in nature. They're the ones who keep balance in nature. If we didn't have carnivores to help control the population of mice or even deer, they would just really overpopulate, and then they would spread sickness.
Right.
Because the carnivores tend to eat the sick and the ones that aren't as healthy, and so they actually keep everybody healthier by maintaining balance in nature.
Oh, interesting.
So we really need all of us. It takes all of us.
It's a circle of life.
That's correct. Okay, so let's make our craft.
Okay, what are we making today?
Today we gave everybody 3 pieces of paper in your kit. So 3 pieces of cardstock.
Right.
And with this, we're going to make 2 hand puppets. Excuse me. And we've sent you a pattern for an herbivore and a carnivore. And just ideas for it. But you can make any dinosaur you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So maybe we'll pick this up and put dinosaurs back in the middle while we make this.
These were just some
for inspiration.
Inspiration. We all need a little bit of that every now and then.
Yep. Oop, I picked up the wrong sign. There we go.
Yeah.
So 3 pieces of paper are in there, and what you need to do is take 1 piece and cut it in half. Put all my carnivores.
All right,
back
I'm
out
gonna
there.
just cheat and say, oh, somebody gave me a half sheet.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
so
I need
have
2
to
half
cut-
sheets though.
Oh, so
yeah,
you need 2 whole sheets and 1 half sheet.
Okay.
So just cut it in half, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You could have folded it to find the line, but I just eyeballed it. So it's pretty close.
I'm gonna fold it.
There you go. That's probably the better plan.
You just keep going. I might fall behind a little bit. You keep going.
Okay.
All right.
And what you're going to do is take 1 full sheet and 1 half sheet to make 1 dinosaur. So do you want to make the herbivore?
I
Want to
would be
make the
happy
carnivore?
to. Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
So we'll just each make 1 for time purposes.
Okay.
So your steps in here say cut your paper in half, and then
Done.
the the other piece can go into a cone. And I'm going to use tape. I didn't get it out. We didn't get all our supplies out here. Here's your tape, scissors, glue if you want glue. You could glue and then tape, and then your puppet will last a lot longer. So when you wrap it, can you see how I'm doing that? So that there's kind of a neck at the top. And you can play with it if you want, like just 1 point down like this. Then just kind of wrap it around, and I put tape. I like tape because it's easy and fast. So I just tape that down. Now I have a body. So now we need to figure out what kind of dinosaur we want to make on this body. So you can set it aside. I'll just lay it over here. Now we're going to take this piece, or half piece, and fold it in half.
I'm finding it appears that the tape definitely works better.
Yeah, tape is better than glue. If you want to glue it before you tape it, it will hold better in the long run, but tape is really the easiest to make these with.
Okay. Boy, it takes like a third hand.
If only we had 3 arms, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. Ah!
You got it.
There we go.
All right. The other half piece of paper,
Okay.
and fold it in half. And the reason we're folding it is because we want to cut once and have 2 pieces out of it. So we're just
I
going
like
to
that idea.
draw on the one side, and then we'll have 2 pieces.
Okay.
Now, on this piece, you need to get your head, arms if you want arms, and then if you want to do spines like the Stegosaurus, you could do that on this page. Any extra things like that. I'm going to do a carnivore, so I want teeth. So I found a piece of white paper, And you could use anything around your house that's white paper if you want to.
Okay.
So I am going to cut that separately out of white paper here in a minute.
May I borrow your tape dispenser? I think I'm going to use that to help me shape my head.
Great idea. I'm just going to freehand an oval. So my head is going to be, well, I'm going to want teeth. So I'm going to draw this oval, but then I'm going to draw this mouth part where the teeth are going to go. Like that, and cut that out. And then T-Rex has little arms, right? So I just need some little arms. So I'm gonna do just a simple little arm. So there's my arm.
There we go.
How'd you do? Did you get a head?
I got a head. See, there's my head. And, that
and
was
then
from
take
the
some
tape
space
dispenser.
around it and do your arm if you want an arm.
And I'm also going to do
some spikes. There
spikes. You go. And then I need an arm too, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you need to.
I do.
But you can make it work in there.
I can.
And I'm going to do my teeth out of white, so I'm going to cut that out of a second paper. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my head out.
Okay, that's how I'm going to do that. So I have my spikes, my head, and my arm. So let's see how that works.
Yep. Okay, so when I'm cutting my head, I want him to be a T-Rex with teeth, so I'm going to cut out this space right here to put those teeth into when I make his head. Ta-da! And now let's cut out some arms. And I love doing the two-sided paper. It's always a trick if you need to make two of something, is fold your paper in half. And then you only have to cut it once and then they match.
That is an excellent idea. I would have not thought of that.
My scissors are huge, so it's kind of hard to cut on the lines, but it's okay. It still looks like an arm. So now I have two arms and I have a head. And so what I usually do to do the eyeball is I'll put him like this. And I'm going to draw an eye here and an eye here because it's the two sides of his head, right? And then I like to do kind of a darker pupil area because it looks like an eye to me. And he can be a nice T-Rex or he could be angry with eyebrows. Do you know eyebrows give us expression, right?
I do.
Look at that. I have an angry T-Rex now because I just gave him two little eyebrows and it changed how he looks. I'll turn it around for the camera. There you go. So now we have a head and we have some arms and I need to cut some teeth. So I'm just gonna get a piece of paper and fold it in half.
I'm still cutting away. I have my spikes and my hands, and now I'm coming out with the head. This kind of looks like The Good Dinosaur to me. That movie, The Good Dinosaur. Yeah. I recently watched that. All right, so there we go. Two pieces. And then cut that in half. And I'll just glue that like that. Let's tape it like that. There we go.
Okay, so I have my two pieces.
Yeah, borrow your pencil.
You sure can.
Because I need to make
use a marker,
too, right?
or, yeah.
All right, so
you could use anything. You could do elaborate faces if you wanted to be a girl. You could give it eyelashes. Sometimes that makes a pencil drawing look like a girl. Up to you. I'm cutting teeth by just V'ing into my little paper here. I have kind of big scissors to work with, but it's doable. And then we're just going to cut that. And now you'll see I have teeth. Rawr. Now I'm just going to take one side of the head to put the teeth on. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to tape these teeth in there so that they just kind of stick on there. We have some tape. And so I'm just going to tape it right down like that. And then let's put some top teeth on him. This. Rawr. Now I have a head with teeth. How are you doing on your teeth?
I think I'm gonna, let's see here.
You're just gonna draw a smiley face?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give a little smiley. And what I've done is I looked at this one here and tried to give the appearance of a nose. So let's see. So this is supposed to be my mouth. And that's supposed to be the outline of the nose. And I'm giving it some definition, trying to give some definition like this one has around its eyes. So we'll see how I did here in just a moment.
Okay, so what I'm going to do to finish his head, now I have the one with the teeth and the one without, and I have 2 pieces of tape on my finger. I'm going to put the head together so it's 2-sided, and I'm just going to tape the kind of up here in the front under the jaw. You want to leave the back open so you can tape it to the body, but I'm also going to put tape up here above his nose, and I did add a nose too. Good idea, Misty. They need to breathe.
They do.
So there we go. Now I have the head. Now to attach the head, you're going to take the body and you're going to leave that back of the head open and you're going to slide it on there. And then you're going to tape both sides. So I'm just going to lay it down for the beginning of this part and get a piece of tape already torn out, cut out. And then I'm going to slide that on there and I'm going to tape his head probably right there. That looks pretty good to me. And then I'm going to flip him over and tape the other side. Right here. Now I have a T-Rex. Rawr. I like his teeth. I'm a carnivore fan, can you tell? So I'm also going to tape his arms on. And I'm going to put T-Rexes pretty high because if you look at T-Rex, his arms are pretty little and pretty high and somewhat pointless, but they're there. So I'm going to put his pretty high up here. I think right around in this area. Just tape his arm on. And then I'll tape his other arm on and I have a carnivore puppet. Now you could draw on him if you wanted to draw scales. You could draw on the body. There's a lot of things you could do to your puppet. So there we go.
I like these puppets because I was thinking when we first talked about doing puppets, doing the sandwich bag puppets, but these seem like a little bit more fun to me.
Well, I like that you can put your hand in it.
Yeah.
So you can have him, give him action.
Rawr.
I actually had made one earlier of a different color. So I can have 2 T-Rexes on my hands. And they can go hunting.
Go hunting together?
Yeah, or whatever
There
they're
we
doing.
go. Okay, I'm almost there. I gotta get my hands on. There. Alright, for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna do one side of hand, so.
It's easier if you kind of lay it down. Yeah, you got it. It's a little bit awkward sometimes. You need that third hand if you had one.
If I had one. But, you know, I could give my dinosaur 3 hands.
So I wanted to talk about while we're finishing up here, where do these words come from? Where does the word herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore come from? They come from Latin. That looks
What do you
great.
think?
That looks great.
Alright, well, you're talking about that. I'm going to put the other
You
hand
can
on.
finish the other hand. So in Latin, we often would combine small words to describe something bigger. So the word herb means plant. The word carn in Latin means meat. And the word omni means everything. And then the suffix of the word vor, V-O-R-E, means to devour or consume. So when you put herb and vor together, you get plant devourer. And you get meat devourer and everything eater. And that's how they get their names.
So, what kind of eater are you?
There we go. Well, we hope you've enjoyed your puppet making.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was super fun. And they
Thank
can
you.
all have their own personalities.
Yeah.
You could use other paper and make more. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. We hope you learned a little bit about herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. And we will see you soon.
See you next week.
That's mine. Yours is sweet.
Oh.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.